Hello and welcome to Strategic Command World War I Paradox game. We're playing September 15, 1917, which could be the last turn, we'll see. Depending on the British forces over there in England. Let's start here on the Western Front. We just move sorry, we'll just move the Aachen guys out. They're bad morale. We'll move these guys in instead. Replenish here. Okay, replenish here. And I'll just spend a little bit of time softening up the enemy front line. Got a few shells here. We're pretty used to that by now. 3 shells coming down here. And 3 here. Three here. And 3 here. And the railgun. Okay, that's railgun fire here. That's it for the Western Front. Just replenish the fighters maybe. And yeah, let's go to England. Let's see how good these tanks are. Morale is down to 54. And they will take a lot of beating here. And I will actually take Edinburgh straight off. Okay. That was easy. Let's go down to London. These guys can just reach. Alright, so move them first. Enemy contact. This is only a detachment. Nobody in Oxford. Okay. Let's see if the cavalry can get there. We'll have to move these guys back to Cambridge. And that's it. If I can go in there. Yeah, just barely. Enemy contact on the other side of London. And bring these guys down, I don't know, here. We'll need to protect the flanks as best we can. Okay, that's it. I think we've won. Let's just keep those guys there. Start moving these guys down to Liverpool, Birmingham. And let's just bring the rest of them across here. Some cavalry. There we go. I have more troops here than in the Western Front. Okay. Nothing to do here. I can just sit there and wait. Replenish the submarine. Bring out the battle cruiser. Bring out the dreadnought and the heavy cruiser. Replenish the submarine. Bring in the battleship and the battleship. And the submarine here as well. Let's bring down one more submarine down here. Okay, that's it for that. In the Mediterranean, we have a battle going on down here. The destroyers will take care of the submarine. Or try to, at least. That's pretty much their job. They can do some scouting back here. Yeah, there it is. There's nothing here. Get rid of that. They have no anti-sub capability at all. Even this one can get in there. And we have a dreadnought somewhere. There it is. Finish it off. And we own the rest of the ports over here. Oh yeah, there's this one. The landing party is gone. Okay. And let's see if we can actually get to Mudras as well. Yes. That was the remaining British area. We have all of this. We have all of this. So they still control the Western Mediterranean, but I have taken Britain. And I guess we have to go through the enemy turn. That's why I took these guys down here. So we have to sustain that, as well as up here. Could actually take another hex here. I'll bring somebody else up there. Yeah, that's better. I don't think they can retake Edinburgh. So we'll just have to go through the enemy turn, and I think that's it. We can take a look at the reports after that. UK surrenders. And that was all the 2,242 points plundered, and all the British units are now gone, also from the Western Front. So if we really wanted to go into France, I think that will be possible. US Committee on Public Information organizes mass publicity in support of the war effort. And we got our gas and shell production level 3 at the end. So let's see the French moves. They will probably just move troops up to the Western Front line. The destroyer is out again. Two of them. Okay. Now the French moves. I think breaking through to Paris now would be pretty easy. So that'll be interesting in the France and UK playthrough that I'm gonna go for. Perhaps taking England is first is a better option, because then you'll have all the British units going to France, and then you land in Britain, and then take out Britain, and then they will disappear from France. Instead of slogging through to Paris with all the British units. Never thought about that. That could be an interesting way to play it. I'm sustaining my very last losses here. Armor attack. Let's see how it is. Okay, 5 damage, that's pretty good. But that's after an artillery barrage. So artillery barrage, armored assault. That's the way to go. The French are moving up, and the front line is back to where it was before. Of course, taking England while you fight both Russia and France on 2 fronts is probably not that easy. I think taking out France first is the way to go. But landing in Britain while they have all the units there, that's going to be really difficult. French morale is affected, of course. Falls below 25. And the Central Powers' major victories there. Okay, so everything is revealed. Let's zoom out a little bit. You can see the big French army here. This is not something you just plow through. Let's zoom out even more. We can see the US are on the way. This is their navy coming with some dreadnoughts, 3 of those, 2 battleships, some 3 light cruisers and a heavy cruiser, the submarine behind it. And then further back they have even more naval units here, and the first transports have been set in there, but now they don't know where to transport to. They were probably destined for Britain or maybe France, I don't know. Let's see, the French Navy has been eliminated from the Eastern Mediterranean. They have a battleship here, a dreadnought there, and a submarine there. What's this? Japan. These were the Japanese destroyers. Yeah, they're here. And there's another battleship out here. And they have the 2 destroyers here in the channel, and that's it for the French Navy. The French army is pretty vast. Let's take a look at the reports then. So these are the current land units. You can see 51 land units for France against my 66. Of course, I have a huge amount of troops that I haven't bought because I didn't need to. We can check that here. There. I could still build another 20 cores plus 2 mountains, so that's 22 cores I could get extra, and a lot of other stuff as well. So my army should have been in the 80s instead of the 60s. 34 Austria-Hungary, 34 for Ottomans, 7 Italian land units, and only 4 US land units currently on the board. We can see the British have 1, that's the Japanese destroyer unit, and then the 6 French ships. USA comes in at 19 to my 33, 17 and 7. Air units doesn't really matter. We have 6 French, 7 German, 2 Austrian and an Italian. No, American. 1 American air unit. And if we then take a look at the losses, well, we 106 Russian, that's just too much. And then 50 British, 28 French, 23 German, 15 Serbian, and 2 Austrian. Land attritions. The British lost 2 air units, and who's this? I think this is the Russians with 1 air unit. And then of course the naval battle with 35 British ships destroyed and 15 French to my 2. So that's pretty significant. We can take a look at the details. So for me, Germany, 19 corps destroyed, all of them probably on the Western Front, 3 detachments and 1 headquarter also lost. 1 destroyer, 1 submarine. I don't know what else there is to look at here. The Austrians lost 2 regular corps. As for Russia, the most of them were just regular corps, 64 of those, plus 14 detachments and 9 headquarters, 5 mountains, 11 cavalry, 3 artillery units and a recon bomber. Let's see the naval losses here for the British. 8 dreadnoughts destroyed, 1 pre-dreadnought and 3 battle cruisers, 3 armored cruisers, 7 light cruisers, 7 destroyers and 2 seaplane carriers, along with 2 submarines and 2 naval mines. Okay. So if we take a minute to discuss the plan. The plan to first take out Russia with a defensive mechanism here in the West. I really like that because I don't want to spend that many resources on the Western Front or on the Navy. So all my resources went to the East, where I was able to encircle the Russian army in Poland, and from that point on it was just a matter of moving far enough east, reaching Moscow, and then they surrendered. Then all units are then retained back to Poland, and that's the perfect point to send out the Navy to start softening the Royal Navy up for the upcoming invasion. And the invasion itself, I think that's the only way to go. If you want to, you could go to Scotland, but that's the same as Newcastle, just even further away. And usually the British Navy will camp here at about around Scapa Flow. So you want to be as far away from that as possible. And there's no connection. There's no harbors all the way down to London. London is not going to be able to work. It will be defended first of all, and you will have the enemy ships in the channel, the destroyers that we saw here, the French ones. It will be impossible to defend the landing forces in the channel. So I think this is the way to go. And the fact that you can actually transport directly from Germany to Newcastle makes the plan even better. As you can see, as soon as you have the bridgehead, you can start sending the troops across 5 at a time, and from that point on it's really really easy. People were arguing, why don't you take more land, why don't you actually move forward? Well, you can see the amount of troops that the French have here, and we have to remember there were British units as well, not as many probably, but a good chunk of British units here. So the amount of defenders is just too large. I mean, you can advance, but then you will be hit by all the other units in the back, and so you can destroy the enemy front line, then you move up, and then your front line will get destroyed. And of course, in a war of attrition, if you have the numbers over here, then that's fine. But if you're only defending, then you really just want to defend a really defendable line, which is the one we have here. So that's why I didn't attack at all on the Western Front. That will be different in the next playthroughs, because then I will have to take Paris. So this was the Russia-Great Britain playthrough. We still have the France and Great Britain playthrough, and also the Russia and France playthrough. So I don't know which one I will go for first. I'll just have to do some research on it, and I'll get back with that. So until then, I'll see you, and have a nice time. Bye bye.